ここよくリス。はーっと一気に制圧するわ。
ジル、俺が合わせる。シュート。ジル、チャンスだ。
ここで決めましょう。
ペールライダー。
Hello, my name is J-Man Major 12. You can call me Major, or J-Man, or even Josh. I am here today to discuss a dream game I want to make called Project Cross Zone 3. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is a strategy/fighting game involving characters from Bandai Namco, Sega, Capcom, and Nintendo. And let me just say this is one of my top 3 games of all time. I have my 3DS in my room charged at all times just in case I'm in the mood to play absolute cinema. You know, just peak. In today's video, I wanted to go over a hypothetical scenario that goes like this.
Hey Josh, you're in charge of making a Project Cross Zone 3.
Oh cool, there's gonna be another Project Cross Zone? Can't wait for that. Wait, what did you say?
Bye.
Okay, that just happened. So yeah, I'm in charge of making a new PXZ game. Let's go over it. So let's design this from the ground up. What console will we be using? Well, the PXZs were on Nintendo property, so the Switch is ideal for this game.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Although in this day and age, I would try to release this on all the consoles. And to be frank, I have thought about this from a greedy higher up perspective and maybe have it be on mobile. That way you can keep adding characters to make money off of. But I feel that would go south due to the 4 big companies like just working on the gacha. They can't split it all 4 ways. Well, they could, but you know, companies they want their own money. So let's settle on Nintendo Switch for this scenario. Now, art style. Should we remain pixel art or go 3D or maybe a bit of both like a hybrid? Maybe they have mini sprites to use on the board, but when you go into battle they turn into 3D models. Now if we can, let's go full pixel art because I just find it really charming to see them like that. But I understand that pixel art is hard to create because you have to put every pixel in the art and animate a lot of moves for every team. But then I hear how people just draw the character then pixelate them. I played this mobile game called Last Claudia and I remember this live stream where they said they do exactly that or something similar to that. I mean obviously they still have to clean it up. They can't just one for one do that. But it's still there where they just draw a pixelate. You don't have to do the old ways of just pixelating everything. And I can't for the love of God find the stream for it, but it's there. Now how about 3D? That's when we can get really crazy, because we don't have to go through the hurdles of pixel art. Now don't get me wrong, it's still hard, the devs still need time to cook. But if I had the option, I would settle for 3D, maybe, but even that's hard because some characters are not for 3D. But some are, which look at Jump Force, at how well anime characters coming into our world looked. So for this one, let's settle on pixel art because that makes everyone look good no matter what. Now, obviously the backgrounds would look the same, you know, 3D. They were 3D backgrounds, but had pixel characters on them, so we don't have to worry about that. Cool. Now for this one, we're going to talk about which characters I want to see. If you somehow stumbled upon this video but don't know what Project Cross Zone is or how they handle their characters on a board, don't worry, I will give you a simple explanation. The main units you control are called pair units, which engage in battle, and you legit fight it out like a fighting game. And since this is a fighting game, and solo units are just assists that just help out KOing the enemy. Now I'm not going into too much detail because at the end of the day, this video is pure hopium, so I don't need to list every unit change or cut I would make for my roster. Let's start with Bandai. Now before we start with anything, I don't know every series on here, but I will do my best for other franchises to get represented. Jin and Kaz are getting redesigned with their Tekken 8 moveset in mind, utilizing the heat system to attack foes. Heihachi would still be here as a solo unit, but he would obviously be in his Tekken 8 form, and this one is just for me, but he is my favorite Tekken character ever, Lars Alexanderson. Alexanderson? Oh, whatever his last name. For Soul Calibur, let's actually do a pair unit this time with Cassandra and Sophitia. And let's make the pair unit Taki, not Natsu, please. I don't know the Tails series as much, so maybe just have the pair unit be Yuri and Velvet, and the support could be a popular character from the series. I want the doggo. Or maybe you could have those protagonists from Tales of Arise. Like I said, I don't really play the Tales of series. Now, I've not played God Eater, but I have looked at footage, and you know what it reminds me of? Monster Hunter. And again, I'm just gonna say this, like, not that it copies it one for one, there are very differences, alright? So, my insane idea for this would be the created characters from each franchise. Now, you may be asking, how would that work? Given that the CACs don't have canonical looks, to that, I say, just create an OC from each game. There, we get to have them represent all the weapons in each game with them being CACs and not established characters. For something new, how about the Tarnish from Elden Ring and the CAC Vampire from Code Vein? And yes, I only did that because they both come from Souls-like games. Oh, and obviously the pair from Namco x Capcom would return. Just a little pop-up in there. Capcom. No brainer here, Ryu and Ken from SF6, that's an easy slam dunk. Next is Chun-Li. Now she has never partnered up with someone from her game and I want to keep it going. It's so hilarious, she can't get a Street Fighter partner. So I was thinking her partner could be Lei Wulong with both of them being cops and all. And for the solo unit, I would choose some new blood from this SF6. So I chose Jamie to represent that game. Dante and Virgil because I have common sense, I'm not a complete moron. Although, they would be in their DMC5 forms and do moves from that game. Even going in, that sick looking Sin Devil Trigger mode looks so awesome. And I would add Nero with Bayonetta just because the creator of DMC and Bayonetta said no to her inclusion in PXZ2, but he later regretted it, so we can have a free pass here. Or maybe we could switch them around where Neo being with his dad, Neo and Virgil, and Dante and Bayonetta, the two main characters of the franchises working together. That'd be cool. As for Resident Evil, we are not using Chris and Jill this time. We're going to be using Leon and Ada from RE4. I was going to have his partner be Claire from Code Veronica, but I decided I would rather have Ada. And if this game has an English dub, can we please not tell the voice actress to be deadpan for Ada, please? I don't know if it's the same voice actress from RE Make 2, but for some reason the voice director said, hey, Ada, be deadpan, don't show any emotion. As for solo units, now let's do Chris from RE6 and Barry with his trusty Magnum. For Darkstalkers, let's have Morgan be a solo and Dimitri and Bishamon can be the pair units. Then Strider Hiryu and Zeku for a crossover pair unit. Plus, it would be interesting for Hiryu to interact with the Strider's curator. Nintendo literally only has one pair unit, and that's a Fire Emblem unit, so for the Fire Emblem characters we would get, I'd pick the most recent one, or at least the one everyone likes. So my choice would be Byleth, and one of the Three House Heirs has a pair unit. One of them could be a solo unit. It's like literally your choice. You could choose. Not in the game, I'm talking about the developers that would be making it. They could choose which one, just like that. For Sega, let's rip the band-aid off early here. No one from the Yakuza series is going to be in this roster because the people who own them legit said no to crossovers, so we need more out there picks. One pair would be Valkyrie and Tiki, but this is mostly because I want to see Valkyrie in a pair unit rather than a solo unit. And people say they want Mario and Sonic in like these types of games. I disagree, this game deals with kind of mature themes. I know we have wacky stuff, but I feel like they have mature themes in the games or whatever. So they can be cameos when Valkyrie summons fighters from different games. A Virtua Fighter representative we would have is Jackie and Sarah Bryan as a pair unit, and maybe Jeffrey McWild or Wolf Hawkfield has a solo unit. Big surprise here, Sega owns Persona. So an easy pair unit would be Joker and any of his friends, then Morgana has a solo unit. Then some more Persona rep in the game would be fantastic, so we could just either have the P3 and P4 protagonists getting the same treatment without the solo unit. Then we can have Axel and Axe Battler has a pair unit just because they come from beat 'em ups. Then we could get Blaze and Tyrus Flare as another pair unit then we could get Hatsuma as a solo unit this time. Now, I have seen people say they want another company added, like in this section. Don't expect me to, because I'm gonna keep it realistic and try to keep it between these companies. Like, I can't just in the future say that Square Enix would work for us and then we get Final Fantasy characters. What about Konami works with us and then we get Snake and stuff? It's like, you can't really bank on companies working here, so I'm keeping it in-house. All these 4 companies. As for gameplay mechanics, I'm just going to regurgitate what the Metal Blade 5 says and just have the enemies fight back and not stand there. With the bosses being really difficult to deal with because you have to stagger them before you can combo them. And we have a block and parry mechanic to make it an actual fighting game with players winning with their reactions. Maybe the bosses before they are staggered could do this too. Then we have more strategy in this hybrid game. Like, how about we have more arrow units to cross these gaps in PXZ3? This could add to the danger because if you get hit too much, you could fall and get instantly KO'd, like making it a tightrope situation kind of, adding to the strategy and choices of the player. And in this game, enemies will have 2 resistances, physical and magical, so the player can't brute force the game. Now, they won't be 100% like resistance, maybe like, it's like a percentage, right? So you could, physical people can still fight people who are physical resistant, but like, it's gonna be harder, so it's just like, why not use the magical people? Now, I'm usually not the type to say story doesn't matter because, personally, I don't agree with the take on fighting game stories don't matter. Heck, I don't agree with the take that horror movie stories don't matter. But in this case, it's a crossover game. You don't need the deepest of stories, you just need the characters. And what you truly, truly need is fan service. You need these characters interacting with each other. One of my favorite scenes in PXZ2 was when the whole party needs to climb up the wall, right? So the characters who wall jump in their games just find a pair of rocks and go at it. I thought that was really hilarious. Then some of the more well-built characters just rock climb it, like Ryu, Kazuya, Jin. Then I remember Phoenix Wright going, I'm paraphrasing here, I don't know exactly what he said. What about the people who don't eat mountains for breakfast, you know, work out every day and stuff? And I believe they just had some of the magical people fly them up there. I remember one scene where they needed to cross a gap and Ryu suggested he and Ken just Tatsumaki across it. It's just, you need that fan service in this game. How about for one part of the story, the crew split up and the fighting game people are in one group, so they had to deal with all the fighting game bosses and their minions. And another idea I'm stealing from the Metal Blade 5 is that your crew is in the middle of a Rathalos and Anubis fight. And this would make so much sense seeing how I added the MH and God Eater rep in one pair unit. Now that's all I had to say about this game. I really wished it would get a sequel. I don't have a Switch, but if they announced this game, even all the people in the world couldn't stop me from getting one. Did you like this type of video? I plan on doing at least one more, then do more if they go well. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. That's all I got to say for now. Bye bye!